Hello Bond fans and welcome to this latest video where today I discuss very big news regarding No Time to Die, the 25th James Bond film, which has been delayed due to the coronavirus. It was meant to be released in April, but then they delayed it back till November. And after a long period of nothing, we've suffered a long wait. We have now got the second trailer, which is, well, the theatrical trailer. I would imagine there was an original trailer that was dropped on the 4th of December 2019. That was like a 2.5 minute trailer, but this one is definitely a bit different to that. But yeah, I have seen the trailer prior to this review. I did a reaction to it this morning live with my friend Jack, the Film Fanatic, so shout out to him. Yeah, so this is basically just kind of a discussion on the trailer itself, what it presents, and yeah, what to look forward to. So, No Time to Die. Yeah, this has been a film that's been going through a lot of development hell. It went through some production problems on its way to getting going. Changed directors. They had some injuries from an explosion. Then the film was delayed due to the virus. So there was all sorts of issues. And I just hope that it's worth the wait. You know, I really just hope that we get this film in November and we like it. Before I go into the trailer, I will talk about the poster. The poster that was released, which I put as the thumbnail for this video, is actually it's kind of similar to the Skyfall poster from 2012. It's Craig standing in front of a part of the 007 logo and a white background, and then he's wearing a tux and he's holding like a gun. He has got one of his hands lower, so Photoshop people will be at the ready there. And then the logo this time is gold. The logo this time for No Time to Die is gold in this poster, whereas before there's been a lot of blue logos as well, so that they're obviously trying to change the somewhat of their marketing strategy as well, because the COVID pandemic hit as well. It's kind of they lost a bit of money on marketing because they literally had to delay it a month before it was meant to be released. So yeah, that was kind of a bummer. But so this, I think this is it. I think they are confident because of the release of Tenet, and Tenet has proven to do well in the UK, and Tenet has got its big release in the US tomorrow. So please, everybody in the US, please support Tenet, please, because it will give the studio the confidence to keep this film in November. And I think the producers are keen, very keen, to have this November release date stay. And please, we really want to see this film. Yeah, so anyway, without further ado, the poster, it's okay. It's the posters for the Craig movies have been quite basic, with the possible exception of Casino Royale. But yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, it's certainly visually appealing, but I did think, yeah, this is like Skyfall. Perhaps they are using that as a marketing strategy, because Skyfall is like the most successful Bond film at this point. It went over $1 billion. I think it's the only Bond film to have done that. So yeah, I'm not surprised they want to sort of use that. I guess they want to try and apply the same strategy. And also, this film is heavily marketed because it is Daniel Craig's last time as Bond. So that in itself gives people an excuse to go and see it. So yeah, anyway, the trailer. So the trailer begins with essentially snippets of what we saw in the first trailer, where Bond is in Italy and he jumps over the bridge. That looks impressive as fuck. It really does. We see a bit more of an extended version of that. And we actually hear a nice arrangement of the Bond theme. I don't know if it's Hans Zimmer. I don't know if it's actually Hans Zimmer's score from the movie. However, it sounds great. And I really hope it is, because I really would like to hear that in the film as well. But the stunts look epic. And then we hear Craig say this line:
"The past isn't dead."
The past isn't dead. So a very interesting theme of the film, which I think obviously will relate to Madeleine, because obviously we know from the first trailer Madeleine has some secrets which are yet to be divulged, and it's all to do with this guy called Safin, who is Rami Malek's character, and he is the main villain of the story. It doesn't, to me, the trailer hasn't given anything away. It's just kind of hinting towards Madeleine and Safin's past and how dangerous Safin is, and kind of giving us a slight hint of what he's trying to do, but not without really saying anything. But basically, he's trying to do something on a global scale, in a way, sort of trying to wipe out some of humanity. But he describes it later in the trailer as him kind of tidying up the the population, so to speak, which is interesting. Like, he's comparing himself to Bond, and he's like, we've all, killed people to make a difference or something, and he's like, but I just do it more tidily or something. So that's not the exact line, but it's something like that. So that's interesting. And as it goes on, we see more of the MI6 regulars. We see this great scene where there's people breaking into a building, and Blofeld is back in the trailer as well. And he says, my enemy is your enemy. So clearly this Safin guy has quite a reputation, and he is even more deadly than Spectre are. So, and I think Blofeld is only going to be in that one scene. I can't see him being in more than that. Yeah, and then we cut to, what do we have next? I think it's M in front of a sort of a big electric fan with a new car. I don't know if that is the Valhalla. That could be the new Aston Martin Valhalla, which is the first ever electric car to be used in a Bond movie. So that's exciting. But any new car is exciting for Bond. We've also got a shot with Bond and Madeleine in the car, all lovey-dovey. Presumably there's going to be quite a long prologue at the beginning of the film with Bond and Madeleine settling down before her secrets are sort of revealed, or Bond is led to believe that there are, things going on. But it's a nice shot. This film looks impeccably shot. I mean, Linus Singdrum, I think, is the cinematographer who did La La Land. So it looks beautiful. I mean, my God. I mean, I thought Skyfall and Spectre looked beautiful, but No Time to Die looks immaculate. I mean, it looks amazing, visually stunning. I would actually go that far. We see a shot in the office as well of MQ, Moneypenny, and actually Nomi, who's played by Lashana Lynch. So clearly that's at the beginning, I think, where they're probably trying to get Bond to come back to MI6 or something, or maybe he's got some information about Safin, or I mean, we can't really relate this to anything at the moment. This is just a trailer, so they haven't dished the dirt on this yet. There's a lot of action shots. There's more of the chase in Italy. There's actually a shot of Safin peering over Madeleine as she's lying on a sofa, but he's wearing the mask, and I think that looks really creepy. And actually, that mask is a bit kind of is very creepy. It's a bit like if Phantom of the Opera, had his full mask, then it would sort of look like that. Some more action from what we saw in the first trailer. We actually we get Madeleine describing Safin to Bond, which I think is very interesting. Presumably in the film, I think at some point, obviously Bond and Madeleine's relationship is going to probably crumble at the beginning of the film, and then I think over the course of the film they will have to reunite in order to, they have to let bygones be bygones, and she'll have to give him the information about Safin that he needs in order to stop him, because this guy is trying to cause World War III by the looks of it anyway. So I think that's going to be interesting, Bond and Madeleine's relationship, because they did sort of drive off at the end of Spectre, and I guess it almost is trying to mirror Vesper in a way, because I mean whether Madeleine actually betrays Bond, I don't know, but I think there's certainly an indication that this is kind of coming full circle. So obviously Vesper betrayed Bond in Casino Royale, and then she paid the price. So maybe the same will happen to Madeleine. I mean, who knows? It's all speculation at the moment. Excuse me. Just to go in the live chat. Yeah, the plot, Harry, yeah, I think so. I mean, we don't know the full extent of the plot, but judging from this trailer, they are selling it to us as like end of the world plot. It's like the whole world is at stake now. In a way, to me, it feels like Spectre, the film Spectre, was a build-up to this. I mean, obviously, we don't know what the plot is yet for this, but clearly Spectre was meant to, kind of draw into No Time to Die, because obviously Spectre come back and they're a big presence, but it's just now that Blofeld is been almost defeated, there's another threat. There's always going to be another threat that's bigger and worse. And I like the sense of stake here. And at the end of the trailer, Bond actually says, if we don't do this now, then there's nothing left or something. Something like that anyway. So I like the dialogue. I very much like the dialogue here. But I like that moment when she's describing Safin. There's actually quite an interesting shot where there's this like missile that's going down a hatch or something, like an elevator shaft. And it kind of like emits little explosives on the wall. Presumably that's to do with the big building scene at the beginning where these people are breaking into the building, which I'm sure we'll find out. I mean, probably to do with Safin, but then we'll find out what that is. Then the next bit we get is Bond burning a note which says "Forgive me," presumably from Madeline. I would assume. Then we cut to presumably this is a Spectre meeting, where the spotlight is on Bond, and then everybody is like, I think crumbling. I think they're being gassed or something. It's kind of hard to tell because it's done in flash. And then we cut to Craig when he says quite a funny line in the office.
You can imagine why I've come back to play.
I quite like that when he said, "You can imagine why I've come back to play." I mean, it's nice to know that Craig is still giving out the one-liners. He's still got his humor, even in his last film. You don't want it to be too depressing, you know. It's emotional, but that doesn't mean you can compromise some of the classic Bond elements, which I appreciate. There's a plane shot with that flying. We're in Jamaica with Felix, which is brilliant. And then he introduces Bond to Ana de Armas, or Paloma, as her character's called. Presumably, Ana de Armas is not going to be in it very much, but I think she looks cool. I mean, she kicks ass. I mean, and also, I mean, she's a very attractive woman, and I think she's a good actress too. So I can't wait to see her part. But clearly, she's only in this one. I think she's only in this one scene, and I think she'll work with Bond. And then she'll probably end up sleeping with him. I can imagine. I mean, you know what Bond is like. My favorite Bond villain lair. Well, that's not really a relevant question at the moment. I'll get to that later. I don't really have a favorite Bond villain lair. Sorry, I'm going through Sam Harrison's comments. What's your favorite Bond trailer of interest? I don't know, Sam. Some of these questions aren't really relevant for this video, so I'll answer them in due course. But if I ever do like a Bond Q&A or something, then you can ask them then. Yeah, I think Safin will be a great villain. I think Rami Malek and his performance, judging from the trailers, he looks very creepy. And yeah, the design of his lair looks very much. It reminded me of The Spy Who Loved Me. Stromberg's lair, sort of very big and over and outrageous. And I like the fact that we're going back to the sort of more outrageous villain lairs, because in Spectre, as good as the movie was, I loved the film, but Blofeld's lair was more basic and it was more like a computer lab. So I mean, it was obviously kind of outrageous in a crater and everything, but it was. I think the interior of Safin's lair, from what we've seen, looks a bit more outrageous. So this guy clearly isn't to be messed with. I think he's probably a bit crazy, but we'll see when the film comes out. Mask reminded me of Michael Myers. I don't think Safin is working for Spectre, Sam. I think he's being. There was a little featurette that Cary Fukunaga posted a few months back when he said he's smarter and stronger than Spectre. So I don't think Safin is a part of Spectre. He could have been, kind of like how Silver was part of MI6. He could have been an excommunicado and he's now gone rogue or something. But we'll find out when the movie comes out. But I don't think Safin is a part of Spectre, because remember in the trailer, Blofeld says, "My enemy is now your enemy." So yeah, I'd be surprised if he is part of Spectre. I don't think he will be. Sorry, I'm going through this in a bit of a random order. See some more action of them kicking ass. I mean, Ana de Armas is incredible in these action scenes. I mean, she looks like she'll be great. And it is honestly lovely to go back to Jamaica. Then there's a bit of banter with Lashana Lynch, I think, which is quite funny. I like the fact that Bond says, "Oh, she's a disarming woman." I think there's going to be some interesting banter between those two, and I think Bond is going to put her in her place. Actually, I think she's got to learn from him. But what I also like is the moment with Nomi and Moneypenny where she says, "Oh, you shot him," and she's like, "Yeah, we've all tried," so or something like that. Anyway, that was very funny. I really enjoyed that, having that moment, and it's nice to hark back to Skyfall because obviously Bond is he's known to be a sexist, misogynist dinosaur, as once referred to in GoldenEye. So I really appreciated that reference. I thought that was quite funny. And I can imagine that being a Phoebe Waller-Bridge line. Not much else to say. There's a few shots of the ice, and there's more shots of the Gatling guns. There's quite a lot of shots we have seen, but there's a few that we haven't. Like I've already mentioned about Safin when he talks about his plan and everything. I like the way that they've also said this November the mission will change everything, whereas in one of the earlier spots or something they had the 25th film will change everything, which I can imagine being a bit misleading. I think they've decided to change their marketing strategy. So they're really heavily marketing this film now. This trailer is selling it. It's like, this is going to be a massive mission. This is going to be an epic film. You've got to watch it on the big screen. And this is a very action-driven trailer, but I like that. Again, it looks like there's going to be a great aerial action sequence with Bond and Nomi, which I think will be awesome. And I love the line that Felix says about heroes and villains. You can't tell who's the hero or the villain. I think that's great. Really great. And again, it just looks impeccably shot. The lighting as well is brilliant. I think this is going to be a great film. I really, really do. And then it ends with Bond saying, if we don't do this now, then there's nothing left to save. And it just basically shows us more of the action. But it ends with the Land Rover tipping over in the forest. That sequence looks incredible. So overall, I love this trailer. I really, really love this trailer. I was pumped when I was watching it. It was completely engrossing, and that music that is in the trailer as well is brilliant. I hope that is the Hans Zimmer score. I hope that is part of Hans Zimmer's score. But then again, Spectre's trailers didn't have the Spectre score, so I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. But I love the arrangement of that Bond theme in the trailer. It was awesome. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. I think this is a great trailer, and thank God that they have no plans to delay the movie again. I hope to God that it's the November release stays. I think it will. I think this is it now. I think they have seen the light and they've seen okay, Tenet is doing well. There's financial gain to be made here if we keep it in November. I think we'll be okay. The only worry is, of course, if the coronavirus spikes again in November, this second wave that they keep talking about. But you never know. It may not be that aggressive. You don't know. You just have to kind of chance it. We have to be brave now and get back to normal life. We can't lock down again. And, I just don't think that would be a good idea financially and, for anything else. Like they said, if they put certain areas into lockdown, if they're showing spikes of the virus, that will be a good way. They talk about this track and trace thing. I don't know how well that works, but as for the film, I was sold from the word go anyway, but this trailer is a fantastic trailer, and it doesn't give anything away. This one shows the scope a bit more. I actually think this trailer is a bit better than the first trailer. The first trailer was great. It was intriguing, and it was a good 2.5-minute trailer, but this one sells the scope, and this is the type of film you've got to see on the big screen. They've made a real effort with this trailer. It's brilliantly edited, absolutely brilliantly edited. So yeah, please go and support No Time to Die in November. Obviously America's going through a rough time at the moment with the virus, and not everywhere in America is open cinema wise. So let's hope that America can actually open more cinemas, and then the success of this film will be greater. It's a $250 million movie. It's got to make its money back. They've invested so much in it. But yeah, I love this trailer. I really enjoyed it. Please leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of this trailer. And before I go, I'll just quickly catch up with the live chat. Sorry, sorry, Sam, you've left me loads of things to read. So you have to bear with me, man. I'm not as quick as you. Stefan's lair, if Hugo Drax's lair. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I think the exterior shot looks a bit like the waterfall part of Drax's lair. I can see where they've taken inspiration from the old films. I think there's going to be some nice homages to the old films. like you said, with the lair, like Moonraker, Spy Who Loved Me, and going back to Jamaica is the kind of homaging Doctor No and Live and Let Die, and of course, the explosion would look like an oil rig. Dimes Off Rabbit. Yeah, I don't know if it is an oil rig, but I think there is an action scene on a submarine, where Craig falls back after an explosion. That looks interesting, and I think Craig looks like he's giving it his all in his last performance. I mean, I can only judge from a couple of the lines I've heard in this trailer, but I think some of his lines were quite amusing, and I like the way him and Ana de Armas actually clinked glasses, and he was like, "Salute." So hopefully there's going to be some nice humor in the film as well. And it is the longest Bond movie. It's 2 hours 43 minutes, so I'm sure it will warrant that runtime. I mean, there's so much to sort of tie up, really. I mean, with Craig's era, but I'm sold. I mean, yeah, and thank you, Ollie Reviews. I'm glad you liked the trailer. So that's really it. I'll give you a second to ask any questions, and then I'll probably leave it there. Just need to have a drink. So, funny enough, I'm drinking Corona, the beer, of all the things to drink. It's actually a very nice beer. It's just kind of ironic drinking it during the pandemic, of course. Oh, no time to die. As soon as tickets become available, I am booking my ticket. And, I felt sorry for all those people that booked their tickets in March before April. And then it turned out they had to be refunded because of the delay and the lockdown and everything. COVID-19 has really messed the world up. So it would be nice to end this year on a good note. Well, I don't think there's any more questions as far as I can see from the live chat. You've got another minute to ask me a question if you want. Sorry, Sam. I know that you left a lot of questions earlier. But I haven't got the time to answer them now, so save them for a Q&A, please. I will do maybe a Bond Q&A, like a special Q&A at some point. I recently did a Q&A video with a subscriber of mine called Cypher's Movie Talk, and please subscribe to him. He does some amazing reviews, and yeah. So hope you enjoy that. But maybe in the future I'll do a Bond Q&A nearer the time of the release. Perhaps within the next 2 months, I might try and I'm going to be doing some more Bond content in the run-up to No Time to Die. I re-reviewed the first 24 films. They are on my channel, if you want to check those out. Also, I'm going to review Never Say Never Again and the unofficial films. The other unofficial film, the Casino Royale spoof. And I'm going to do some more. I'm going to do some more Bond rankings after No Time to Die has come out. I'm going to re-rank the movies, obviously. All 25 films I'm going to re-rank in 5 parts because there's so many of them. And then I'm going to probably rank Bond girls, villains, music tracks, songs, cars, potentially. So I'm planning to do a lot more James Bond content because we don't know when the next film will come after this, probably 2023 or something, but who knows? But anyway, Sam has a question. What's your favorite Bond score? That's a tough one. I like a lot of Bond soundtracks. I'll name the ones that I really like and sort of go from there. Obviously, Skyfall, because it's my favorite Bond film. I'd say Casino Royale as well. Quantum of Solace is a good score. You may not like the movie, but the score is good. A View to a Kill is another one. The Living Daylights. I really like the Living Daylights soundtrack, actually. It's underrated. Octopussy has a good soundtrack, though it's probably not the best. Goldfinger, yeah, I'd say Goldfinger, and actually The Spy Who Loved Me is another one. There's so many to choose from. Like I said, I will do an actual ranking. I'll do an actual ranking of my top 10 favorite Bond scores for you later in the year after I've seen No Time to Die. Well, fingers crossed that it does release this year, and I'm confident it will, but you can never be 100% certain these days if 2020 has taught us anything. But I hope the score is good for No Time to Die. And Hans Zimmer is composing it. It's his first time composing a Bond score, so that should be interesting. Not really a fan of GoldenEye's score. No, it sucks. Tomorrow Never Dies. World's Not Enough is okay. It has an okay score. Tomorrow Never Dies is an okay score. Die Another Day score. Not really a fan. What else? License to Kill. That's not bad. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not too bad. I don't mind that one. On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Now, that is a contender. On Her Majesty's Secret Service could be potentially my favorite James Bond soundtrack, but Skyfall is arguably there as well because it's my favorite Bond film. But Live and Let Die actually is another one. I really like the Live and Let Die score, even though that's not John Barry doing it that time. My least favorite score, I would say, is potentially Die Another Day because it's my least favorite film of the series. But I've never been a great fan of Diamonds Are Forever, and I've never been a great fan of the soundtrack to that one either. Man with the Golden Gun score isn't great either. There's a few that aren't really that good, but For Your Eyes Only as well. It's just the kind of the 80s techno stuff doesn't really appeal to me. In terms of the Bond soundtrack, it doesn't really work for me. But this is all discussions for another video. So I'm going to call it there because otherwise this video will go on for too long. But thank you very much all for watching me and for listening. And stay tuned for when I do some more No Time to Die content and for more reviews and rankings and whatnot. So until next time, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. See you soon. Bye for now.